All right, this video is for the lesson 3.10 homework. We're starting, this is just kind of an inequality introduction day. So first one, what is the name of a relationship with a constant rate of change represented by a solution set denoted by the graph of a line that may or may not be included in the solution and the set of points above or below the line? So that's a linear inequality. So we're still doing straight lines. We're just not doing equations anymore. We're doing inequalities. So number 2, what is the name of the symbol represented by a dashed line with shading below the graph of the line? So if it's below, it's less than. And if it's dashed, it's less than. If it's a solid line, it's less than or equal to. And that's some of the stuff we're going to look at today. So just looking at the equation, you can tell if it's a dashed or solid line and if you shade above or below. So if there's a line underneath the inequality sign, automatically it's a solid line. We're going to graph with a solid line. And so you can circle it. I don't care how you do it. Okay, then you have to decide if you're going to shade above or below. So you always look at the y. So in this case, we've got y is less than. So if y is less than, you're going to shade below. If the alligator's eating the y, you're going to shade above. Okay, so then let's look at this one. So this one, there's no line underneath. So that means it's going to be a dashed line. And then in this case, y is greater than. So if y is greater than or alligator's eating the y, you're going to shade above. So on these graphs, the shading did not print. Okay, so this one is shaded over here, and you can just kind of, you don't need to color it all in. This one is shaded down here. This one is shaded down here. And then this one is shaded above. Okay, so inequalities. Always start with the y. So right off the bat, we can put a y. Then we have to decide what sign to use. So the shading of this one, is it above or below the line? It's above. And so kind of how you can tell, I'll show you on the next one the easiest way to tell. But this one's above. So we know alligator's going to eat the y, or it's greater than. And then we look at the line. This line is dashed. So that's our sign. Y is greater than. And then we write the equation. So for this one, there's no y-intercept here. So the easiest way to write this equation is to find two nice pretty points. So I'm going to use this point here and this point here. And I'm going to name them. So this point, the x value always goes first. So -3, -6. -3, -6. And then this point is -2, -2, -3. If I can pick out two nice pretty points, I can find the equation of any line. So this goes back to linear regression. So I can take my ordered pairs and I can stack them up. Oop, -6. Remember, we can draw a line through the commas, and then these are my x's and these are my y's. So even though we can't graph an inequality, we can still use pieces in the calculator that help make life a little bit easier. So I can still do linear regression on this. So remember, it's this green box here. Next to the A, we put an x. Next to the B, we put a y. And then we put our x's in. -2 and -3. -2, -3. And then we put our y's in. -3, -6. And then the keys for linear regression. So you have them. Menu 4, 1, 3. So menu 4, 1, and then 3. Change the x list to x, the y list to y, and then hit OK. Linear regression should be second nature by Christmas. You should just kind of be able to do it really, really quick. So my m value is 3. So I know I'm going to have 3x. And then my b value is a positive 3 plus 3. Completely awful or not too bad? Not too bad. Okay. So the next one, number 8. We know it's going to start with y. All right. Easiest way to tell if you're above or below the line is to go to the y-intercept. So my y-intercept is, well, not quite, but right in here somewhere. If I draw a line down, that's where my shading is. I'm below the y-intercept, so I'm below the line, meaning y is less than. This line is solid, so that means my inequality sign gets the line underneath it. So since my y-intercept is not nice and pretty, it doesn't fall in a grid line, I need to find 2 nice pretty points. Okay, so make sure I'm getting nice pretty points for you guys. Right here's a good point. I'm hoping that's a good point. And let's try this one. 8, negative 3. Okay, so this point here is 2, 1. This point here is 8, negative 3. You should be able to plot points on a coordinate plane. You should be able to name points on a coordinate plane by this point. Okay? All right, take my ordered pairs. Stack them up. Draw a line through the commas. This is x. This is y. Okay. So pull up my calculator. Start fresh. X out. Start a brand new one up. X next to the A. Y next to the B. Put my x's in. These two. And then put my y's in. And then it's menu 4, 1, 3. Change my x list to x and my y list to y. I get gross numbers. We do not use decimals. So I'm going to write down the values that I have. So m, the slope, is negative 0.6 repeating. B, the y-intercept, is 2.3 repeating. So I'm going to open. I can just go home. So from that page that I was on, I can press home and then the calculator page. And I can type these in. So negative 0.6 repeating. The 6 repeats, so a bunch of the 6s. And then it's menu 2, 2. So my slope is negative 2/3. So that's the first number I write down. Negative 2 over 3. X goes behind the slope. And then 2.3 repeating. The 3 repeats, so I type a bunch of those in. Menu 2, 2. My y-intercept is positive, so plus 7/3. So your calculator likes to spit out answers in decimals. We rarely use decimals, okay? So that leaves you these two and these two. If you get stuck, you start getting twisted, let me know. You want me to check? Absolutely, I will check for you.
On number 9, is the shading below?
Yes.